We are going to talk about early education. We focused on the following 4 points. First, advantages and disadvantages of early education. Second, early childhood education in Netherlands. Third, early education and preschool. Fourth, non-cognitive ability. I will talk about advantages and disadvantages of early education. First, I will talk about advantages of early education. Early education makes children develop their ability more than they start to educate after they grow up. Because right brain performs better while we are children. Right brain is a brain of sensitivity, so we can train creativity and imagination by using right brain. So, early education is one of the training which we acquire a skill of reading things intuitively. In addition, children have a flexible mind, so they can absorb information quickly and they can get a good memory. Moreover, in childhood, people should make a foundation in order to improve their skill in the future. Children can make a foundation by giving an early education. For example, if we want children to concentrate something in the future, we need to make children concentrate something in childhood. In other words, early education makes children flexible and they can ready to learn in the future. Second, I will talk about disadvantages of early education. Children become too cut out for teamwork because early education is passive for children, so they only accept the activity which someone prepared for them. Therefore, children tend to be passive, so they become too cut out for teamwork because they don't have good social skills. In addition, early education makes children lose self-esteem. If children can't respond to expectations of parents, they lose self-esteem because they tend to think that children who can respond to expectations of parents is good children. On the contrary, children who cannot respond to expectations of parents is not good children. In conclusion, early education has some advantages and disadvantages. When we provide children with early education, we have to be careful about choice. We should use early education which is convenient with us.
Then I will tell you the difference between early childhood education in Japan and in foreign country. I would focus on Netherlands. Look at this chart. According to UNICEF report, Netherlands is the best country in terms of level of children well-being. Do you know pyramid method? This is the way of education for the purpose of cultivating independence of children. Pyramid method focuses on developing the ability to making a choice and decision by themselves. This method has four basic concepts: autonomy of children, encouragement of parents, attachment, and keeping the distance. It speeded up development of children, both ethnic and Dutch, and met with the greatest success when children entered preschool. For example, they set up circle time. The children sit in a circle and listen to others' story with seeing everyone's face. Children can find what the other people are thinking. Through the pyramid method education, children will get ability to solve the problems by themselves and fully enjoy the playing by themselves. In Japan, many people regard studying as memorizing something. However, in Netherlands, studying is considered as thinking by myself. That is the biggest difference between education in Japan and in Netherlands.
Do you know uncognitive ability? It is expected in non-cognitive recent early childhood education. There are mainly three non-cognitive abilities. 1. Making the efforts to achieve the goal. 2. Living together in harmony. 3. Controlling your emotional state. There are the ability to live as human beings that cannot be measured by academic ability. Early childhood becomes very important to acquire unrecognized ability. Recent studies have shown that the goodness of learning outcomes is proportional to the non-cognitive ability, such as the ability to strive and self-restraining ability, not the difference of individual IQ. Also, to acquire uncognitive ability in early childhood is that it leads to happiness and economic stability after becoming an adult. Actual results can be expected as statistics like this graph. Perry Preschool Study is early childhood education approach used in preschool, kindergarten, child care, or elementary school settings. Was developed in Michigan in 1970. It is now common there and in some other countries. Prior to the program, the preschool and control groups were equivalent in measures of intellectual performance and demographic characteristics. After the program, the education and life outcomes for the children receiving the program were much superior to outcomes for the children not receiving the program. Many of the program outcomes were significant or approaching significance. To prepare material that makes children feel interesting or involved. It is important that children cares enrich children's ideas and deepen their thoughts through dialogue.
I would like to talk about the merits and demerits of not going to nursery school or preschool, compared to children who goes to one. I will start from talking about the merits. The first merit is that parents whose child doesn't go to any school can save money. And if children didn't go to any schools, the time they spent inside big group of people will be less, and would save them from the risk of catching infections. If the chance of getting sick decreases, occasion of going to the hospital will also decrease, which also saves money for the parent. When a child goes to a preschool, their parents will have to be responsible for the PTA committee. Schools are a place where children learn many things, and this may sound like a good thing at first. But in these many things, bad things like swear words are also included. If children didn't go to schools, they won't be exposed to bad influence. Now, there are many children in Japan who eat their meals alone because their parents are too busy. However, if the children stayed home all day, they would have a better chance of spending time with their family. Now, I would talk about the demerits of not going to school. If children didn't go to school in their early age, they will lose the chance to get used to meeting new people and will have a harder time adapting themselves when they go into elementary school. And because they get so used to spending time only with their family, they may become scared of communities outside of their house. Next may not sound like a big problem to some people, but in Japan, keeping your child home by your side instead of taking them to school will be regarded as an odd behavior. This may be an issue some adults will not care about, but if their children hear someone saying that their parents are weird, they will definitely be hurt. Nowadays, antisocial is a social issue in Japan. I believe this is because Japanese are losing opportunities to learn how to communicate with others. And I also believe this kind of ability is something you can only learn when you are a child. Therefore, I think children should go to some kind of school in their early age. If you are wondering against preschool and nursery school, I recommend you to take your child to preschool. Nursery schools are for parents who need a place to leave their child while they work, but preschools are for children and will support them to grow up. For these reasons, it could be said that going to preschool has more advantages than nursery school.